people, welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm literally so done. Like, so done. I just exercised. I went to work today. This is shift number 3. I'm a mess. Anyway, we're going to talk today about what it's like to break up with a friend, because Jesus Christ, what has not happened to me in my life? Okay, yes, so it's tea time. It's spilling the tea. This is kind of hot and I don't actually want to spill it, and the way my day is going, I'm probably gonna actually spill it. Okay, so why don't we dive in here, shall we? Breaking up with a friend. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't really think I've broken. I don't necessarily think I've broken up with a friend. I don't really think that breaking up with a friend is the right term in my life. But I have fallen out of love of friends, if that makes sense. So there's a lot. So like, I guess if we think about a breakup, you know, you guys split apart, and then when you fall out of love, again, you want something more than what the other person can give you, and that's kind of friends that I've lost contact with over the years. It's kind of what ended up happening. I wanted something and they wanted something, and we didn't necessarily want the same things anymore. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But this has been happening to me a lot more frequently now that I'm older. And it's kind of strange how friends that I thought were going to disappear actually ended up staying around, and friends I thought were going to stay around actually ended up disappearing. So we're just going to dive into what it's like, or what my experience was like when I broke up with friends. So, let's get started. So I grew up in on the East Coast, but not necessarily near a city, in the suburbs of a city, and I went to school. I don't know. It was like a predominantly like Caucasian school. There was a decent amount of African Americans, but otherwise it wasn't that diverse. It was pretty much, that was it. It was pretty much like black and white, and that was it. And there was a couple of minorities here and there of other subgroups, but like there wasn't that much diversity. So it would be like, I guess, well, use your imagination, but you all know what it's like to like, or at least you can kind of envision what it's like to go to what's the right term? I don't, like, my high school was diverse, but it wasn't really diverse, if that makes sense. It was like Caucasian and African American, and that was the diversity. And in my book, that's not necessarily diversity. Diversity comes in many different shapes and many different colors and many different personalities. So like, it's not black and white. It's a range. It's a rainbow. But anyway, that was kind of like what my high school was like. And when you grow up in a town that's like kind of boxy in that regard, people do things, in my opinion, that are kind of weird. I don't really understand why. Honestly, when I was like 17, 18, like, I knew I wanted to go to school, you know, and go to college and all that stuff. And at the time, I didn't understand why somebody wouldn't want to go to college. Like, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? You can't be successful unless you go to college. And like, that's not really true, right? But like, when you live in a boxy community where everybody kind of goes to college, everybody fits into a category, you think that way, and it's sort of a social pressure aspect too, right? So anyway, so that's like kind of where I'm coming from. Then I went to college, and oh my gosh, my college, I went to a private university. Use your imagination. That was total opposite of my high school. My high school, these people, a lot of them didn't really come from like healthy homes. A lot of them were struggling financially. A lot of them lived near a city and kind of like lived with extended family to get into a suburban high school. So, and they were very boxy people. And then I go to private, it was a private Catholic college. That had less diversity, but I think the economic status was what really like kind of changed my attitude, because here I'm going from like a high school where some families couldn't even afford dinner, and then I go to like private college and these people are so well off, it's like not even funny. You know. And there's this line in Shameless where the one of the main characters was just like, oh, I wish I could have rich people problems, like, oh, am I getting enough fiber in a day? And like, and that's exactly kind of how my college was. I mean, everybody I went to college with was like really wonderful and really great, and everybody that I encountered and I worked with and I was in clubs with was amazing. Like, I'm not talking about those people. Any of you are my friends in college. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the community around the college. And it's very interesting because, like, I didn't know this, that colleges have communities around like around themselves. I mean, for example, like Penn State is a really big, I guess, party school because it's like a big state school and a lot of people go there. But the county around Penn State is like you're in the middle of Pennsylvania, and there's like, I'm sorry, but there's nothing that interests me in the middle of Pennsylvania. Like, I don't know what to tell you, you know? And like, and that's kind of, I didn't realize that kind of that characteristic of the area around the school sort of represents kind of the community of the school, even if the students aren't that way. Like even though my university was private, a lot of the people that I worked with, they worked really hard and they were really smart, and like a lot of them, you know, saved for college and got scholarships and took out loans. Like most of the people I worked with and and interacted with and had classes with at my university, they weren't spoiled, especially in the music therapy field. Like all of these people were hard workers. All my sorority sisters, hard workers. All the people I worked with were like, you know, top of their class because they worked hard. But there was always some people there that were like, you know, spoiled. Oh, daddy will fix it, mommy will buy it, you know. And then the community around the college was pretty privileged too, because remember, I taught lessons near the school, so I knew what the environment was like. Not that that was a bad thing. It wasn't bad. It was just a cultural shock. And then I got my first job and blah, 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 and life went on. And then I finally realized that I want to be upper class society. And I'm pretty darn close to reaching that goal. It only took my family 3 years to get there. But here I am, third person, giving it a try. My grandmother tried. My father tried. Not that they got pretty darn far. And then here I am trying. And the family, I think we finally gonna make it, because I'm taking one for the team, okay? And I'm happy to do so because I love my family and I love my life and I have potential, so why not just go for it? But the problem is that not everybody is like that, obviously. Like, here I am. I don't know when I'm posting this video because I never know, but I'll let you know that I'm definitely recording this video. I actually worked, got paid for it. I did schoolwork. I'm doing this. I'm going to go back to schoolwork. I'm probably going to get like 4 hours of sleep tonight, and then I'm going to go into work tomorrow and do the whole thing all over again, and then I'm going to crash like on Saturday, because that's what happens. I'm going to be really crabby. But like, that's what you got to do. And like, and I don't care, because I've been in this grind for a really long time, and I continue to be in this grind for a really long time because it helps me get better. It helps me succeed. It helps me become on top of my game. And it's really important. But the thing is that not everybody is like that. Not everybody is going to sacrifice and do 4 hours of sleep in order to be on top of their game. Some people can't do that. Some people actually need 8 hours of sleep. Some people aren't dating individuals that will let them, you know, compensate time. My man is so understanding. Like, he's so understanding whenever I tell him that, like, whatever assignment I have to do or whatever my life is like and I guess it's like we kind of go back and forth because like I tell him when I have stuff due, he tells me when he has stuff done had to do, and then we work really hard so that way we can, when we do see each other, we don't have to like do it halfway. We can actually put all of our heart and soul into seeing each other. And honestly, that again, that takes like a mature person to be able to figure that out. On top of all other stuff that we're dealing with life. So bottom line here that I'm trying to say is that sometimes when you want things in life, or you want to do things a little bit differently, or you want to change the class that your family is, like me, you're gonna outgrow people, you're gonna fall out of love, and you're going to break up with friends. And it's no hard feelings. It's just that, like, I want something different than you do. I don't want to be a construction worker living in the town I graduated from high school. I don't want to get married to a person I dated in college because, like, I didn't really like that area. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't know. I didn't want to be a music therapist anymore because I didn't like the social standing. I don't know. I'm smart enough to go off and continue my education, so why not? I mean, it sucks. Yeah, like there are times. Oh, there's plenty of times I come home from work and all I want to do is watch TV and eat chips. That's it. But like, why do that? Because I know I'm so much better. And that's the thing is, like, sometimes when that switch happens, you start to lose friends because not everybody is going to be on the same path as you. And you don't want people to be on the same path as you. You don't want to be a music therapist going for your MBA and then you find out that 5 other music therapists you went to college with are also going for their MBA. Like, you don't necessarily want that to happen. You want it to happen because you don't want to be alone, but then you also don't want it to happen because you want to be unique. So it's sort of almost like you want everybody to do their own thing and just kind of respect you and sort of stick to the way things were, but that's not what happens in life. Life is a give and take relationship. Relationships, friendships are a give and take relationship. So once you can't get something from somebody anymore, that's when the connection sort of stops. Once they can't get something from you anymore, that's when the connection stops. And it's not a bad thing. It's just that you changed. Maybe you're changing for the better, like me. Maybe you're sick and tired of your family name being at the bottom of the totem pole, and you have the potential to be something great, so you might as well just go for it, But, like, people don't see it that way. People think that, you're going to change, you're going to, oh, money, oh, your man, oh, your job, oh, she changed. But, like, a lot of people don't read behind the lines, Maybe somebody in your family, was diagnosed with a disability and they can't work anymore and you need to get your act together. Maybe somebody in your family passed away and you were granted a decent amount of money, so you figured you'd invest it in yourself, Maybe you're totally fine with living and working and staying in the town that you grew up in. Maybe, like, no hard feelings. Maybe that's the life for you. But whatever you decide, people are going to leave because people are going to change. And you just have to I guess, not necessarily anticipate who's going to leave, because I tried to do that and it didn't necessarily work. You have to anticipate that people are going to leave. Not necessarily who, just that people are going to leave. And then you have to know that, why are they leaving? Are they toxic to me? Are they, Do we have anything in common anymore? Are they on a different path than me? Things like that. And that's all good and fine. There's nothing wrong, because you're going to meet other people that are on your same path. Just like in medical school, you're not going to be the smartest person in the class anymore. So like you're going to interact with people who are better than and there's going to be people that are smarter than you. There's going to be people that like are where you want to go, and maybe they don't know that, and they want to be where you want to be, and then that's how you become and get new friends. But it's all good and fine. It's totally fine to break up with friends. It's totally fine. As long as, if it's a fight, it can be more difficult to recover. But if you sort of just lose touch because your values are different and you're going in different paths, there is nothing wrong with that. And then one day when you finish your journey, or when they finish their journey, or when you both finish your journey in a couple of years, you guys can get together and have pizza. Because I've seen that happen too. Like, my mother has plenty of friends that she lost touch with when she was young, working, kids. And then now we're grown, and now she's back in touch with a lot of people that she lost contact with. And honestly, they were going through the same thing. Work, kids, And so again, there's nothing wrong with it. And just because you break up now doesn't mean you're not going to get back together. So it's all good. It's all good and fine. Just expect that it's going to happen, and don't take it too personally, and just let it go, and know that in certain situations, it can just be the time. It could just be the phase. It could just be what's going on in your life, and it might not be a personal thing at all. Certain people take it certain ways, but you just got to focus on yourself, okay? And you need to get there. I mean, I hate to say it, but like, my family worked too darn hard to give me opportunities. And if I like settled and ignored these opportunities, like that would just be unacceptable. So like that's how I kind of like view it in my head, like my family worked really hard. They came over, immigrants, no money, clothes on their back, to give me an opportunity to be something great and to give something back to the world. And I can't let them down. I mean, I have the knowledge, I have the discipline, I have the potential. I mean, if I was dumb, if school didn't come easy for me, if like I was a lazy individual, then fine, then I wouldn't be a capable person to do the task. But I'm not. I'm really smart. Like, I'm really good at everything I do, because I put 110% into it, and I don't really, I sacrifice sleep, I sacrifice like money, I sacrifice a lot of different things, vacations, luxuries, but it's okay, because like I have my eye on the prize, and sometimes my eye on the prize is different than other people's eyes on the prize, but that's okay, no hard feelings. So that's the story, friends. It's okay to break up with people. It's okay to lose touch with people. It's okay to fall out of love with people. Just understand where you're coming from and your ideas behind the actions. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks or what anybody else says, because everybody has their own little story and interpretation, but you're the only one who knows the real story from your side. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed our little talk. Talk to you guys later. Bye!